morning, everyone. Today is March 17th, 2025, and I'm your host, Emmett Hamlin. Welcome back to the Tewatohnhi'saktha podcast. And we are joined today by Director of Business Services, Daryl Leclaire. The topic today is going to be all things business services, about how 2024 went, and then looking into the plans for 2025-26. So welcome to the show, Daryl.
Thanks, Emmett.
So we'll get right into it. How would you assess the overall impact of the services and programs that TBS provided in 2024?
Obviously, a lot of our programs are already set. Applying the old programs, making them available to new entrepreneurs, as well as not forgetting the existing ones, where we've put a lot of emphasis this year. Not that we didn't in the past, but a little extra on the Shopgun Awage program this year. Our intention is to support the business community, whether that's big or small. And by big or small, I don't necessarily only mean the size of the business, but also the needs of the business. Sometimes you need a lot of help. Sometimes you need a little help. We continue to fulfill our mandate to provide support in those areas, and we did a good job and look forward to continuing to do so.
Based off all that, what programs or services received the most positive feedback from clients or stakeholders in 2024, and why?
Our most popular program is our marketing fund. We reach on average, I'm going to say, about approximately 140 businesses per year. It allows them to do their marketing needs, whatever they are, whether it's traditional advertising, such as taking out an ad in your DWZ or the Eastern Door. Some of our clients can be fairly creative in terms of how they use their funds. Ultimately, our goal is to get your name and your number out there so people can access your services. That's probably the most popular program. The biggest impact program, I would say, is our Business Assistance Fund, which is a capital cost program, i.e. equipment or machinery or even inventory. Because you're looking at businesses that are either starting up or expanding, sometimes the most difficult part of getting there is access to financing. And that's really what the Business Assistance Program is there to provide, that access to financing. We've seen in general, going back to my very early days at Tewatohnhi'saktha, we used to get about 4 or 5 a year that would access the Business Assistance Program. Now we're in the neighborhood of 20 plus per year.
Wow.
And the ability of the program to finance has also expanded over the years. So now we can provide up to $25,000 financing. There are, I'd recommend seeing a business services officer to find more details on how to get access and to how much would apply to your specific project, but there's definitely financing out there through us. Then the final one, again, as I mentioned, we've put a lot of emphasis on Shopgun Awage this year. It's the third year in a row we set a record for how much Shopgun Awage gift certificates we've sold to the community in general. You may not see it on a day-to-day basis, but it has a direct impact to the business community. So I think we sold something in the neighborhood of 60,000 this year in terms of Shotgun Awage gift certificates. That's 60,000 that's guaranteed to stay within this community. And as well, the hidden impact of the Shotgun Awage program is, I'll call it, the circularity of money. So for example, I get a $20 gift certificate for somebody and I bring that to store number one. They can go in turn go to store number two, whether they take that $20 in a certificate form or spend it somewhere else. So I spend it in store number one, they spend in store number two, store number three goes to store number 4 and 5, and all of a sudden $20 has turned into $100 staying within the community just from one small gift.
We're hearing like more and more about Shopgun Awage, and we're seeing it more and more around, and it's becoming used more and more. So it's awesome. It's awesome to hear all this. With every organization, there's always those unexpected challenges that come up. Did TBS face any of those unexpected challenges in 2024? How did the team address them?
Yes, as I mentioned, there's been, I guess, an expansion in the requests for services. The team has more or less stayed the same size for 24 years I've been here. The old adage of do more with less, not to say that my staff is less, because I definitely think the world of them, but the time is less and the demand is more. So I'll call it a stress on time management. My team is very oriented towards results, towards I come in with a problem, helping me solve my problem, but those demands have continued to be a challenge, but they're awesome.
Yeah, you have an awesome team there on TBS. So how did you measure the success of the key services that were offered in the last year?
The two particular ways, I mean, more ways than that, but we do client satisfaction surveys. Just a hint, I think they're going out today or tomorrow for the next round of client
Yeah.
satisfaction surveys. So in that way, we look to gauge the direct impact of the team members in terms of how they provided service to you as an entrepreneur. That's the first way. The second way, I guess, a little more upfront is the Shop Ganawage program. What are those direct impacts to the community, i.e., are they growing? Obviously, the worst case scenario is a dramatic drop. We're not there. I think that goes to the promotion efforts, not only of TBS, but also of our marketing team, getting that word out, getting that here are the benefits of this program. And we have a lot of entrepreneurs who aren't necessarily anyone's first thought when they come to, well, I'm going to hand in my certificates here. They generally tend to go to retail organizations, but we encourage everyone to still be a participant. If you're in the construction field, nobody's paying for their house in Shop Kanawagi gift certificates.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of $5 bills.
Oh yeah.
But we encourage everyone to join the program because it also shows your support for your community, for your fellow entrepreneurs by being a participant. And we do a lot of promotion throughout the year. Here's our list of participants and just being a part of that.
Now, looking ahead to 25, 26, what new services or improvements to existing programs are you planning to introduce?
We have applied for 2 new programs. I don't have an answer yet, so I won't go into too much details except that it would allow additional access to financing to 2 specific groups, in this case, youth and women entrepreneurs. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we are accepted for both these programs, and we'll have future announcements. I'll be back on the podcast announcing these programs. In terms of other programs, we do have within our mandate ongoing review of programs. There aren't anticipated to be any significant changes during the 25-26 year, but it is in our strategic plan as a team and as an organization to continually review our programs. And it is specifically TBS's turn to review our programs and policies. So again, I may be back announcing some changes. The demand on the programs has increased. Funding, not so much.
Okay.
Dollar figures, some of these programs haven't changed since 2013. The same dollar figure in 2013 compared to 2025, you can't do as much. So I guess the question on the table for us now is dollar figures haven't changed much, but demand has. So solving that dilemma of more requests for more money for more people with the same money is on the table. I'll give you a hint. We're going to solve it. We're going to find a solution. I just don't know what that looks like yet.
You're gonna figure that out. I can't wait to have you back on. Hopefully, the other 2 programs they end up getting approved. What trends or changes in the market are you anticipating, and how do you plan to adapt your service in the next 2 years?
The dollar in 2013 is not the same as 2025, and that's really the big one on the table is trying to solve how to give more access to more people in more amounts. And that part of that was those 2 requests for funding for the 2 programs, as well as, I guess, just overall review of programs we have existing to make them more accessible for more people.
Back to client satisfaction and client engagement. In the upcoming years, how do you plan on to enhance that?
In general, we do very well on our client satisfaction surveys as a whole, as the organization, not just TBS, but we're very much, I feel, we're very much client focused as an organization. So just continuing a lot of things we're already doing well, and
That the team you have is awesome. I mean, I see them every day, and trust me, they do everything they can to make sure everything is taken care of for our clients and businesses. Okay, so were there any like innovations or technologies that played a role into shaping TBS's services in 2024?
we haven't really jumped full steam ahead into technologies. I mean, obviously, AI is the big one for everyone, not just TBS. There are opportunities opportunities for AI to assist our entrepreneurial community, to help the BSOs assist that entrepreneurial community. That to me is the obvious one. We haven't really jumped full speed ahead. The other side of AI is particularly when you're outputting a product, I'll say in this case a business plan. AI will give you a very generalized product at its very basic. Is you need to sort of refine that product. Physically writing a business plan from experience can take weeks. AI can do it in about 18 minutes. But you need to give it the right information to allow it to do it in 18 minutes. We're seeing AI creeping into business plans, and it's now, I guess, how I'll say innovation and technology will come into the team, is the team being able to guide you to use AI.
What steps are being taken to ensure that the programs and services evolve, I guess, to meet the needs of a changing business environment in 25, 26?
Again, it's part of our strategic plan for the upcoming year that we're going to be reviewing all of our programs. To me, that's the biggest concern, is the increased demand. How do we meet that? And that's ultimately what we'll be looking to tackle, is how to give the community access to the programs in the future to meet more needs with the same amount of funds available.
To wrap all this up, how do you envision collaborating with other departments or external partners, playing a role in enhancing the services from TBS in the coming years?
One of the major ways, I guess, we've seen an increased desire of external companies or organizations to do business with Ganoa. I'll throw out a pitch. I believe they've been on your podcast as well, is Procurement Canada. And there's this image of Procurement Canada being, if I'm going to apply for a project, it's going to be $1 million project. That's not all they do. They do that. If you're ready to apply for $1 million project, we're there to support you. They have what I'll call no bid contracts as well. They're very much on the smaller end. And the perfect example that I always give from my conversations with them is the RCMP need dog food. You don't need a special license to be able to sell dog food to the RCMP. So there are these small contracts, because I have a canine unit. And there are other small contracts like that. They need not necessarily cleaning services, but they need cleaning supplies. They need office supplies. They need whatever. Every winter, they need runners for the front of their offices. And these are all smaller, attainable contracts. We have this idea that doing business with Canada is these huge, massive projects that we're leaving all these attainable projects alone, and we shouldn't be. So that's one way we're working with external partners to sort of close some of these opportunities and bring them here.
Thank you for joining us, Daryl, and I can't wait to have you back on.
Cool. Look forward to it.
Well, that wraps up this week's episode of the Gunny Gun Rio podcast, and I'm your host, Emmett Hamlin, and we'll see you next time.